What is up? Today I have a pretty unique flavor build that I want to share with you guys. We're doing a Bard Fighter multi-class, and we're going for like a tanky support vibe. Let's check it out. First off, I want to be a Hobgoblin. Hobgoblins now are kind of the help action specialists, and help action is something we are going to want to do with this build, so let's go ahead and take it while we can. As for our stats, we're going to take a +2/+1, so we end up with 15 strength, 16 constitution, and 17 charisma. The reason we're going into 15 strength is that we are going to be using heavy armor, but after that, we're basically a charisma constitution build. At level 1, we're going to take fighter, which gives us several different things. We're going to get proficiency in our heavy armor, which we need. We're going to get proficiency in athletics. We're also going to get proficiency in constitution saving throws, which makes our concentration better, and we're going to be using concentration quite a lot. We also pick up a fighting style. Here, I'm going to be picking up superior technique. With superior technique, I'm going to be grabbing bait and switch, and it really begins the theme of this build. This is a build that revolves around mobility, both reducing our enemies' mobility, but even more so, increasing our allies' mobility, which I think is pretty unique and pretty cool. Now, something I will say about this build is we're not going to be attacking a lot. That's kind of weird about it, is that we're going to bait and switch someone. Instead of attacking them, we're going to try and grapple them, and our proficiency in athletics is definitely going to help us out with that. By being a Hobgoblin and a grappler, we can do some pretty unique combinations. More often than not, we're going to want to grapple someone and knock them prone, but in this situation, it makes a lot of sense for us to grapple someone, bonus action help our melee ally, who now has advantage on the attack, as well as gets other bonuses that we get to decide on, whether that be more mobility, giving them some temporary HP, or by allowing them to, once they hit the enemy, now that enemy has disadvantage. So it's almost like we have them prone even when we're not prone by doing the disadvantage, because we give advantage and they have disadvantage. It's kind of an interesting combination. At level 2, I'm picking up Bard. As for our first level spells, the ones that stand out to me are Command, Silvery Barbs, Healing Word, Bane, Fairy Fire, and Dissonant Whispers. At level 3, we get Bard 2, which is our Song of Rest and our Jack of all trades. Simply two pretty decent features for us. At level 4, we're picking up Bard 3, and I'm going into Glamour Bard. College of Glamour gives us the Mantle of Inspiration, which I love. This is a good way to completely rearrange the battlefield. It helps the barbarian get in, it helps the druid get out, it lets you set your team up for success as far as positioning goes. A great use of bardic inspiration. And further continues our theme about being a support that's focused on our team's mobility, which I think is really cool, and this is kind of our standout feature to do that. Also, at Bard 3, we're going to get expertise. The first expertise I'm going to do is intimidation. We are a face, and I want to choose a face skill, and we're a big bulky face, a commander sort of person, so I like intimidation to bark orders. It's honestly just my favorite face skill, and so I'm going to take it here. If we were min-maxing, you would probably take persuasion, but lame. The more important expertise is athletics. That's going to help us be a pretty massive grappler. So now we can do a bait and switch, get all of our team moving when we need, and then still grapple them and hold them in place. That's going to be kind of our go-to combat style, as we just grapple a troublesome opponent, and then we direct our allies with our battlefield support features. At level 5, we're going Bard 4, and we're going to pick up the Telekinetic feat here. The Telekinetic feat allows us to move our allies as a bonus action, or attempt to move our enemies as a bonus action as well. This is just 5 feet, but that can change dynamics when it comes to breaking grapples, for example, and protecting your team. So it's a really good forced movement, continuing our theme here. Level 6, we get Bard 5. Here we get to pick up our fight-winning spell. I am looking at Fear for this fight-winning spell. We are intimidating, and so we can intimidate them with our presence, and now we're forcing them to move as well, so that kind of goes hand in hand. We force our enemies to move, we can get our allies to move. And at level 7, we're going Bard 6. We get Mantle of Majesty at Bard 6. I really love Mantle of Majesty. It's kind of an interesting setup. You use your bonus action to establish yourself this form, but once we do it, we can cast a command over and over and over again, so we're using our bonus action to take away their actions, which is a pretty amazing risk to reward in our favor. That means you can't cast a spell with your action, so keep that in mind. One thing to mention is that if they have been charmed by us for any reason, they automatically fail the command saving throw. I don't know how often that's going to come up, but that is an option for you, and there are things you could do to mix a fight-winning charm spell with your bonus action Mantle of Majesty to have a really powerful fight-winning combination. At level 8, we're going Fighter 2. We're picking up our Action Surge. Action Surge, when mixed with casters, gets better the higher spell levels we have. So waiting until we have 3rd level spell slots makes a lot of sense before picking up Action Surge. Now we can combine bigger and more powerful spells. Other combinations can be something along the lines of Grapple and Command, or Grapple and Knock Prone. So instead of just grabbing them, now we can grab them and knock them prone. Command is just kind of a good Action Surge spell in general when combined with a lot of different spells. I will note that this does not work with the Mantle of Majesty command, because that is a bonus action, and when you cast a spell as bonus action, you can't do it with any of your actions, even if you have 2 of them. So we don't want to be casting a spell with our bonus action when we're using Action Surge. At level 9, we're picking up Fighter 3, and we're going to be going Battlemaster. Battlemaster is really flexible, and it's going to allow us to do a lot of different support things with our maneuvers. So what I'm looking at here is Rally, Commander Strike, Commanding Presence, and Maneuvering Strike. This gives us temporary HP. This lets us donate attacks to our allies who are far better at attacking than we are. This gives us excellent charisma-based skills, and Maneuvering Strike is kind of hard to pull off. It has a lot of different things that need to go right for it to work, because we actually have to hit someone, and then we can have an ally move, but it does go with our theme of moving our allies around, so I took it here. Here we have a choice. We can go deeper into Fighter to pick up extra attack. Extra attack makes us a far better grappler. Or we can go deeper into Bard if we just want to focus on getting our spell levels up as high as possible, as fast as possible. I decided to go Bard here, but I think there is viability to either choice. All right, so just kind of breaking this down, we are a battlefield commander. We are that heavy armor, charisma-based leader, and we're not focused on being powerhouses of damage ourselves. We're focused on support. We're focused on grappling an enemy, trying to pin them, but mostly grappling an enemy and then directing our allies and debuffing our enemies using fight-winning spells. And outside of combat, we make incredible faces. Not only do we have the expertise and intimidation or whatever face skill we want, but we also have the commanding presence from being a Battlemaster to combine into some really crazy out-of-combat face skills. Definitely a weird playstyle. Don't know how viable it would be if we're not personally doing damage, but if we are giving our rogue our commanding strike, for example, that's giving them free sneak attacks. It's probably more damage than we'd be doing ourselves. So overall, I'd say that I'm mostly here for the interesting playstyle. This build idea came from a combination of my teammate Tucker and our consistent viewer Fledgling working together in our Discord to bring this build to life, and I just kind of took it, made it my own. So if you're interested in doing character builds with the community, go check out our Discord, link down below, and your builds may be featured on the channel. Could be cool. So hopefully you like the build, and if you have ideas to make it even cooler, let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, I hope you have yourselves a lovely day, and I'll see you on the next one.